The Vario crew is a group operating within the Lucchese crime family. The crew was once very active in Brooklyn neighborhoods of Canarsie and Flatlands. The crew was controlled by Capo Paul Vario from the early 1950s into the early 1980s, when Vario, Jimmy Burke, and a number of other associates were imprisoned, primarily due to the testimony of another long-term associate, Henry Hill. Hill's life in the Vario crew was the subject of Nicholas Pileggi's book Wise Guy and Martin Scorsese's crime film adapted from that book, Goodfellas, 1990, starring Ray Liotta as Hill. Today the crew is still active, but less influential than before, and was most recently led by Domenico "Danny" Cutea. History. Paul Vario's power. Paul Vario received money from members of his crew and local criminals. Vario's crew was involved in hijacking cargo shipments from JFK Airport in Queens, NY. They also ran several loan sharking and bookmaking operations in Brooklyn. James Burke, a close ally of Vario's, ran a crew of hijackers that would pay off truck drivers and then unload the goods at a warehouse Vario controlled. Another ally of Vario's was John DeGuardi, a Lucchese family capo who controlled labor unions in New York City. In the 1970s, when Vario and Burke were imprisoned, the majority of Vario's bookmaking operations were taken over by his Russian Jewish associate, Martin Krugman. Henry Hill's drug organization. Two of Vario's crew members, Henry Hill and Jimmy Burke, began dealing in amphetamines, cocaine, heroin, and marijuana. Hill ran his criminal enterprise with his wife Karen, William Errico, Anthony and Rocco Perla, Robin Cooperman, and Judith Wicks. In early 1979, Burke and Hill began selling heroin. After Robert "Bobby" Germain Jr., the son of Henry Hill's drug partner, became an informant, Hill was monitored. In 1980, Hill was arrested for drug dealing and looking at several life sentences. He accepted the option to become an informant. Hill's testimony led to 50 convictions. In 1980, on Burke's orders, Angelo Seep shot and killed Bobby Germain, Jr. in Kew Gardens, Queens. Burke was given 20 years for fixing sporting events and a life sentence when the authorities convicted him for murdering scam artist Richard Eaton. Vario was given a 12-and-a-half-year sentence during the KNRAC trial. Robert's Lounge Crew. The Robert's Lounge Crew was a semi-independent group of criminals working under the Vario crew, led by Jimmy Burke, and based in Burke's Bar, Robert's Lounge. They were active from 1957 to 1979. The Robert's Lounge crew comprised numerous members, some described as inept, whose specialties included armed robbery, hijacking, and murder. Although an independent outfit, they were closely associated with the Lucchese family, through which Burke had a long-time friendship and working relationship with Vario. Historical leadership. Cooper Regimes 1930S1950S, Salvatore, Don Urido Curiel 1950S1988, Paul Vario. In 1984 he was sentenced to 12 years in prison. He died on May 3, 1988. Acting 1970-1988, Vito Toddy Vario. Vario's younger brother. 1988-1991, Alphonse Little Al D'Argo, served as street boss from May 1990 to January 1991, then served as acting boss from January 1991 to July 1991 when he was demoted. He became a government witness on September 21, 1991. 2018, Domenico "Danny" Cutea, released from prison on October 5, 2013, died August 14, 2018. Past members and associates of the crew. These are past members and associates who have retired, been murdered, or died other ways. Soldiers: Frank Manzo, Soldier; Vito Toddy Vario, Soldier; Peter Vario, Soldier; Salvatore Babe Vario, Soldier; Peter Pete the Killer Abenati, soldier; Joseph D'Argo, soldier; Bruno Facciolo, soldier; Luigi Sacco, soldier; Alfonso Curial, soldier; Lou Bagels Dadone, acting capo; associate; Clyde Brooks, associate, died in 1994; Frank James Burke, associate, murdered on May 18, 1987; Jimmy Burke, associate, died on April 13, 1996; Louis Caforo, associate, disappeared in March 1979; Thomas Desimone, associate, murdered on January 14, 1979; Richard Eaton, associate, murdered on July 18, 1979; Henry Hill, associate, became a witness in 1980, died on June 12, 2012; Martin Krugman, associate, disappeared on January 6, 1979; Angelo Seep, associate, murdered on July 18, 1984; Louis Werner, associate, convicted on May 16, 1979. Former headquarters and hangouts. The crew operates throughout the New York City. These are some of its former headquarters and hangouts: Bargain Auto Junkyard, Euclid Taxi Cab Company in Brownsville, Brooklyn, Gefkin's Bar, a bar owned by Paul Vario, Q Motor and Robert's Lounge, the former headquarters of Jimmy Burke's crew, located on Lefferts Boulevard and Rockaway Boulevard in South Ozone Park, Queens. The Bamboo Lounge, former hangout, located on Rockaway Parkway and Avenue N in Canarsie, Brooklyn. The Lefferts Bar, The Suite, a former hangout owned by Henry Hill, located on Queens Boulevard near Forest Hills, Queens. Government informants and witnesses. Richard Bolello, associate, murdered on October 28, 1974. Alphonse Little Al D'Arco became a witness on September 21, 1991. Teresa Ferrara became a government informant, disappeared on February 10, 1979. Peter Grunwald, associate, became a witness in 1978, died in 1979. Henry Hill, associate, became a witness in 1980, died on June 12, 2012. In popular culture, Goodfellas, 1990, directed by Martin Scorsese, is based on the Vario crew and the life story of crew associate Henry Hill, portrayed by Ray Liotta. References. Notes. Sources: Nicholas Pileggi, Wise Guy, Life in the Mafia Family, 1986. Greg and Gina Hill, On the Run, A Mafia Childhood. May Allen, The Lufthansa Heist Revisited. TrueTV.com.